You can rest now. God is fighting for you. Tonight, you don't have to solve everything. You don't have to replay the conversations. You don't have to fix tomorrow. You don't have to carry what feels too heavy for your heart. Maybe today drained you. Maybe your mind won't slow down. Maybe there are questions you don't have answers to. But right now, in this moment, you are safe. Before you close your eyes tonight, I want you to remember something simple and powerful. God is not asking you to fight this battle alone. While you lie down to rest, He remains awake. While your body grows still, He is already moving. While your thoughts try to race ahead, He is already standing in tomorrow. You can rest now because He is fighting for you. Not with panic, not with fear, but with power, authority, and perfect love. Even when you cannot see it, He is working. Even when you cannot feel it, He is near. Even when you feel weak, He is strong on your behalf. So breathe slowly. Let your shoulders drop. Let the weight slide off your heart. Tonight is not about striving. Tonight is about surrender. You are not alone in this room. You are not alone in your struggle. You are not alone in this season. God is here, and you can rest now. Before we go any further, just pause. There is nothing you need to accomplish right now. Nothing you need to prove. Nothing you need to fix in this moment. This time is not about performance. It is about presence. Gently allow your breathing to slow. Take a slow breath in and let it out softly. Again, breathe in and release. Feel the air filling your lungs. Feel your chest rise and fall. Your body has been carrying more than you realize. Tension in your shoulders, tightness in your jaw, a quiet heaviness behind your eyes. Let it soften. Let your shoulders drop just a little. Unclench your hands. Relax your forehead. You don't need to hold everything together right now. God is not asking you to stay strong tonight. He is inviting you to rest. Maybe your thoughts keep circling the same problem. Maybe there's something unresolved. A conversation, a bill, a decision, a fear about tomorrow. Notice it, but don't chase it. Imagine placing that concern gently into God's hands. Not throwing it, not hiding it, just placing it there. He is not overwhelmed by what overwhelms you. While your heart beats quietly in this room, He is steady, unshaken, fully aware. You may not see how things will work out. You may not understand the timing, but you are not walking into tomorrow alone. Even now, while you prepare for sleep, God is already present in your next morning. Let that thought settle into you. You do not have to carry tomorrow tonight. Right now, your only assignment is rest. Let your breathing become slower, deeper, gentler. If your mind drifts, that's okay. Bring it back softly. Picture yourself lying beside still waters. No noise, no urgency, just quiet peace. The kind of quiet that does not feel empty, but full of safety, full of protection, full of unseen strength surrounding you. God does not sleep. He does not grow tired. He does not lose focus. While you close your eyes, He remains attentive. While you release control, He remains in control. You can release the pressure to understand everything. You can release the fear of worst-case scenarios. You can release the need to fix what is beyond you. Surrender is not weakness. It is trust, and trust creates peace. Notice how your body feels now compared to a few minutes ago. A little softer, a little quieter. That is what happens when you stop fighting and start resting in Him. Tonight is not the night for mental battles. Tonight is the night for surrender. Let every anxious thought loosen its grip. If something tries to rise up again, gently whisper in your heart, God is fighting for me. Say it slowly. God is fighting for me. You are not abandoned in this season. You are not forgotten in this struggle. Even when nothing seems to move on the surface, heaven is not inactive. There are things happening that you cannot yet see. Doors aligning, protection forming, answers unfolding quietly. God's work is often invisible before it becomes visible, and that means you can rest before you see results. You don't need proof to sleep peacefully tonight. You need trust. Let your breathing guide you deeper into calm. Inhale peace. Exhale pressure. Inhale trust. Exhale fear. You are allowed to feel safe right now. You are allowed to let your guard down. You are allowed to stop bracing yourself. God's presence is not loud. It is steady. It is constant. It is near. Even here. Even now. Even in this quiet moment. The day is over. You did what you could, and what you could not do, God can. So rest. Let your thoughts grow slower. Let your body grow heavier. Let your heart grow lighter. You do not need to keep watch tonight. God is already awake, and He is fighting for you. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Let that settle gently into your spirit tonight. The Lord will fight for you, not you fighting alone, not you striving endlessly, not you carrying every outcome on your shoulders. The Lord will fight for you, and your role is to be still. Stillness feels unnatural sometimes. When problems rise, your instinct is to react, to fix, to analyze, to prepare for the worst. But there is a deeper strength in stillness. Stillness is not denial. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is trust in motion. Imagine the moment those words were first spoken. Fear was everywhere. Uncertainty surrounded them. There seemed to be no way forward. And yet the instruction was not run harder. It was not fight better. It was not figure it out. It was be still. Tonight, that same invitation is extended to you. Be still. Not because your situation is small, but because your God is greater. You may feel surrounded by pressure, responsibilities pressing in from every side, deadlines, expectations, unknown outcomes. But what feels overwhelming to you is not overwhelming to Him. He does not panic. He does not scramble for solutions. He does not lose sleep over what keeps you awake. While you lie here breathing softly, He is steady. Picture a shepherd walking ahead of his sheep. The path may curve. The valley may dip low. Shadows may stretch long. But the shepherd sees further than the sheep ever could. He knows where the safe ground is. He knows where the water flows. He knows where danger hides. And He walks ahead first. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Not because life is perfect, but because you are guided. He makes me lie down in green pastures. Notice that word, makes. Sometimes rest does not come naturally. Sometimes your mind resists it. But a loving shepherd knows when his sheep need to lie down. He leads you beside still waters. Still waters do not roar. They do not rush violently. They reflect the sky. They bring calm. Tonight, let your heart be led beside still waters. You are not being dragged into chaos. You are being guided into rest. He restores my soul. Restoration is happening even when you cannot measure it. Even now, as you listen, something inside you is softening. The tightness loosens. The racing slows. The burden lightens. Restoration rarely happens through force. It happens through surrender. Even when you walk through valleys, and you have walked through some, you are not walking alone. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Notice, it says walk through. Not stuck in. Not trapped in. Through. Valleys are seasons, not destinations. Shadows look large, but they cannot harm you. A shadow cannot touch you. It only appears intimidating because of the light behind it. And the very presence of a shadow proves that light is nearby. You may feel like you are in a valley right now, but valleys are not permanent. And the shepherd is still present there. For you are with me. That is the difference. Not the absence of challenge, but the presence of God. Your fear shrinks in the presence of someone stronger. Your anxiety loses volume when you remember who walks beside you. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. The rod protects. The staff guides. Protection and direction. You are guarded and guided at the same time. Tonight, you can release the need to defend yourself against every unknown outcome. God is your defender. You can release the pressure to predict every turn in the road. God is your guide. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Even in tension, there is provision. Even in uncertainty, there is abundance. A prepared table means intentional care. It means you are not forgotten. It means you are seen. Even when opposition exists. Even when circumstances feel unfriendly. There is a table set for you. There is provision already arranged. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Overflow is not survival. Overflow is abundance. Sometimes you focus so much on what is lacking that you forget what is overflowing. Breath in your lungs. A bed beneath you. Another day lived. Small mercies that quietly sustain you. Surely goodness and mercy will follow you. Not chase you in anger. Not stalk you in judgment. Follow you in kindness. Even into tomorrow. Even into uncertainty. Even into situations you cannot yet see clearly. Goodness is already on the way. Mercy is already moving. You do not have to outrun your problems. You are accompanied by grace, and you will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Your story does not end in fear. It ends in belonging. It ends in safety. It ends in presence. So breathe again. Let these words wrap around your thoughts like a soft blanket. The Lord will fight for you. You only need to be still. He goes before you. He walks beside you. He stands behind you. You are surrounded, not by fear, but by faithfulness. Tonight, you do not need to stand guard over your future. You do not need to stay mentally alert to protect yourself. God is already awake. He is already moving. He is already fighting for you. Be still. Rest. Let the shepherd lead. There are battles happening that you do not see. Not every fight in your life is visible. Some of the most important victories are quiet, unannounced, unseen. Tonight, while your eyes grow heavy and your breathing slows, there are things shifting in the spiritual realm that you may never fully understand. And that is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to comfort you, because you are not unguarded. You are not exposed. You are not defenseless in the dark. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Light changes everything. Darkness feels larger than it truly is when there is no light to measure it against. But the moment light appears, darkness loses authority. God does not flicker. He does not dim when pressure increases. He remains light, steady, constant, unthreatened. When anxiety whispers worst-case scenarios into your mind at night, that is not truth. That is fear searching for attention. But fear does not lead your life. God does. He is your stronghold. A stronghold is not fragile. It is fortified, reinforced, unshaken by storms. Imagine a fortress built on solid rock. Winds can strike it. Rain can beat against it. Enemies can surround it. But the structure does not crumble, because its foundation is secure. Your life, placed in God's hands, is anchored to something deeper than circumstance. You may feel moments of shaking, but shaking does not mean collapse. Sometimes God allows you to feel your limits so you will learn to lean into His strength. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. This is not the language of aggression. It is the language of closeness. Protection that wraps around you. Not distant defense. Not cold security, but warmth, nearness, intentional covering. A bird does not cover its young halfway. It fully shields them. If danger approaches, the covering remains. Tonight, you are not lying in bed alone. You are covered, not because you earned it, not because you prayed perfectly, but because He loves you. You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day. Notice that night is mentioned. Night often magnifies fear. The room is quiet. Your thoughts grow louder. Small concerns suddenly feel enormous. But terror does not own the night. God does. The same God who holds the sun in place also governs the darkness. There is no hour when His authority weakens. There is no moment when He steps away. Even if your emotions fluctuate, even if your confidence dips, even if your strength feels thin, His protection does not fluctuate. It does not depend on your emotional state. It does not rise and fall with your mood. It remains steady, constant, reliable. 1,000 may fall at your side, but it will not come near you. That does not mean life is easy. It means your life is held. There are things that could have broken you, but did not. There are outcomes that could have destroyed you, but somehow you are still here. That is not luck. That is protection. You may never know how many times you were guarded from something you did not see. A delayed appointment, a closed door, a change of plans. What felt like inconvenience may have been intervention. God sees the full picture. You see a page. He sees the entire story. You see tonight. He sees 10 years from now. You see uncertainty. He sees outcome. That is why you can rest. Because the one defending you is not guessing. He is not reacting. He is sovereign. The Lord will watch over your coming and going both now and forevermore. Watch over. That means attentive care, not passive observation, not distracted supervision, but focused guardianship. When you leave your home, when you return, when you wake, when you sleep, when you succeed, when you struggle, His watch does not expire. It does not weaken. It does not shift to someone else. You are not left on your own after midnight. You are not less protected because the world grows quiet. If anything, the stillness allows you to notice His presence more clearly. Even now, as you breathe slowly, He is closer than your next thought, closer than your next heartbeat, closer than your next breath. You may not feel dramatic peace. You may not sense fireworks or overwhelming emotion, but peace is often gentle, subtle, like a soft blanket laid over your mind. Protection does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it feels like simple calm, the absence of panic, the slow easing of tension, the quiet confidence that says, I am held. You do not have to anticipate every threat. You do not have to prepare for every possible failure. God is already positioned ahead of you. He is not scrambling to respond. He is already there, already guarding, already arranging, already defending. Tonight, you can release hypervigilance. You can release the need to mentally rehearse disasters. You can release the exhausting habit of bracing yourself. Because you are covered, even in unseen battles, even in spiritual conflicts you cannot perceive, even in tomorrow's uncertainties. You are covered. If something is allowed into your life, it must pass through his hands first. And if he allows it, he also equips you for it. Nothing surprises him. Nothing overwhelms him. Nothing outruns him. So let your breathing grow slower again. Let your thoughts soften. You are not exposed. You are not abandoned. You are not defenseless. God is your light. God is your fortress. God is your covering. And while you sleep tonight, he remains awake, guarding you in ways you cannot see. There is something deeply comforting about knowing that your life does not pause when you fall asleep. You rest, but God does not. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. That means there is never a moment when heaven turns its attention away from you. Not at midnight, not at 3 a.m., not in the quiet hours when your house is still and your thoughts try to wake back up. God does not drift off. He does not close his eyes. He does not miss details. While your body restores itself in sleep, he is already arranging what tomorrow requires. You worry about conversations that haven't happened yet. He is already present in them. You stress about outcomes you cannot control. He already sees how they unfold. You lie awake wondering how things will work out. He is not wondering. He knows. And that difference changes everything. Because you are not walking blindly into the next day. You are stepping into a day that God has already entered. Before your alarm rings. Before the sun rises. Before you open your eyes. He is there, waiting, not with pressure, not with disappointment, but with preparation. The steps of a good person are ordered by the Lord. Ordered. That means intentional, purposeful, not random, not chaotic. Even when life feels unpredictable, there is a deeper order underneath what you see. There are divine alignments happening quietly. Phone calls lining up, people crossing paths, delays preventing something harmful, doors opening at the exact right time. You may not notice these details in the moment, but they are there. God works ahead of you, like a loving parent preparing a path before a child walks it. He removes what would trip you. He reinforces what needs to support you. He provides strength for what you will face. And sometimes, he solves things while you sleep. There are problems that look enormous at night. They loom large in the dark. They whisper urgency. They demand solutions. But morning has a way of shrinking what midnight magnifies. Because perspective returns with light, God sees with eternal perspective at all times. He does not panic when circumstances shift. He does not scramble when plans change. He is already woven into every detail of your tomorrow, even the parts you cannot imagine yet. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will act. He will act. That means movement, response, intervention. You are not committing your life to silence. You are committing it to a living, active God. While you sleep tonight, there are things he is aligning. You may wake up to small shifts, a different attitude in someone, an unexpected opportunity, a fresh idea, a new piece you did not have before. Or maybe the situation won't visibly change overnight, but you will, because rest restores clarity, and clarity strengthens faith. Sometimes the miracle is not instant resolution. Sometimes the miracle is sustained peace in the middle of uncertainty. You do not need to manufacture tomorrow's strength tonight. Tomorrow's grace arrives tomorrow. Just like manna fell daily, enough for each day, God provides what is needed when it is needed. Not all at once, not in overwhelming quantities, but precisely, faithfully, enough. Tonight, your assignment is not preparation. It is surrender. Lay down the mental checklist. Lay down the hypothetical arguments. Lay down the what-if scenarios. They are not helping you right now. They are stealing rest that belongs to you. You can trust God with unfinished business. You can trust him with unanswered questions. You can trust him with fragile situations. Because he specializes in working in places you cannot see. Seeds grow underground before they ever break through the surface. Roots form in hidden darkness before trees stand tall. Much of God's work happens invisibly first. Do not confuse invisibility with inactivity. Just because you cannot see progress does not mean nothing is happening. He is moving in subtle ways, softening hearts, shifting timing, rearranging circumstances, strengthening you from within. While you sleep, your body heals. Cells repair. Energy restores. And in similar ways, your spirit recalibrates when you rest in Him. Peace seeps in quietly. Trust grows slowly. Confidence rebuilds. You may not wake up with fireworks, but you may wake up lighter, steadier, less burdened, because surrender changes how you carry tomorrow. Cast your cares on the Lord, and He will sustain you. Cast. That means release. Not hold loosely. Not keep partially. Fully release. You cannot rest if you are still gripping control. Open your hands. Imagine placing every concern into His care. Your finances, your relationships, your health, your decisions, your future. Now let your hands close empty. Not empty of hope, but empty of strain. God is not overwhelmed by what you hand Him. He is not surprised by its weight. He is capable, infinitely capable. While you drift towards sleep, remember this. Tomorrow is not a surprise to Him. He already stands inside it. He already holds what you need for it. He already sees the outcome beyond it. You are not stepping into uncertainty alone. You are stepping into a prepared space, a guided path, a watched-over day. And when you wake, He will still be there, just as steady as He is right now. So let your breathing slow once more. Let your thoughts soften into the background. Let trust rise quietly within you. You do not have to solve tomorrow tonight. You do not have to fight every battle yourself. You do not have to stay alert while heaven remains awake. God is working. God is arranging. God is preparing. And you can rest. Before we close tonight, let this truth settle deeper. You are not barely surviving. You are being sustained. There is a difference. Surviving feels like clinging to the edge. Sustain means you are being held. And you are being held. Even if this season feels uncertain. Even if your strength feels inconsistent. Even if your faith feels smaller than you wish it did. God is not measuring your performance tonight. He is surrounding your heart. You may look at your life and see unfinished areas, unanswered prayers, slow progress, lingering questions. But God looks at you and sees someone still walking, still breathing, still trusting, even if imperfectly. And imperfect trust is still trust. Do not underestimate quiet endurance. You are still here, through things that tried to break you, through conversations that wounded you, through fears that whispered you would not make it. And yet, you are still here. That is not weakness. That is evidence of sustaining grace. Sometimes strength is loud and visible. Other times it is silent and steady, like a small flame that refuses to go out, even when wind presses against it. God has been that steady hand shielding your flame. There were days you did not even realize you were being protected. Moments when things could have gone differently, but did not. Situations that could have escalated, but softened. Paths that could have harmed you, but closed. You may never know how many times heaven intervened quietly, but intervention has followed you. Goodness has followed you. Mercy has followed you. Not because you deserved flawless days, but because you were loved, deeply, intentionally, without hesitation. You are not an afterthought in God's plan. You are not a minor detail in a larger story. You are known. Every thought, every worry, every hidden tear, every silent prayer whispered in exhaustion. He has heard them. Even the ones you did not finish. Even the ones you did not have words for. There are prayers that sound like complete sentences. And there are prayers that sound like sighs. God understands both. He does not require polished language. He responds to honest hearts. Tonight, maybe your heart is simply tired. Tired of waiting. Tired of uncertainty. Tired of carrying invisible weight. That does not disappoint Him. It draws Him closer. Because God moves toward the weary. He strengthens the faint. He does not shame weakness. He meets it with presence. You may not feel dramatic change overnight, but small, steady faith reshapes your life more than sudden bursts of emotion. Trust grows quietly, like roots stretching deeper underground. You may not see it happening, but it is happening. And roots matter more than leaves. Leaves are visible. Roots are foundational. Your faith has roots. Roots formed in valleys. Roots strengthened in waiting. Roots nourished in surrender. That is why you are still standing. Not because life has been easy, but because God has been faithful. And faithfulness is stronger than fluctuation. Circumstances fluctuate. Emotions fluctuate. Energy fluctuates. But God's character does not. He is the same in your best season and your hardest one. He is the same when you feel confident and when you feel unsure. He is the same when your prayers feel powerful and when they feel small. His consistency is your security. You do not need to be perfectly steady, because He is. You do not need to be endlessly strong, because He is. You do not need to see every step clearly, because He already sees them. Let that remove the pressure from your chest. You are not responsible for holding the universe together. You are not responsible for orchestrating outcomes beyond your control. You are responsible for one thing tonight: trusting enough to rest. Rest is an act of faith. When you sleep, you are declaring, "I believe God is capable." That is not laziness. That is surrender. And surrender is powerful. You are allowed to release the tension. You are allowed to let your breathing slow. You are allowed to believe that good things can still unfold, even if the timeline feels longer than you hoped, even if the path looks different than you imagined. God writes stories that stretch beyond your current chapter. This moment does not define your entire future. This season does not determine your final outcome. There is more ahead, more grace, more clarity, more strength, more provision. You are not at the end. You are in the middle. And the middle is where growth happens. The middle is where trust deepens. The middle is where unseen preparation takes place. Do not despise this space. God is shaping you here, refining you here, strengthening you here, even when it feels slow, even when it feels quiet, especially when it feels quiet. Because quiet does not mean absent. Quiet often means God is working in deeper layers. And deeper layers produce lasting change. Tonight, you are safe enough to close your eyes, safe enough to soften your thoughts, safe enough to let go. God has carried you this far. He will not stop now. He has protected you through things you thought would overwhelm you. He will not abandon you in what comes next. You are not alone in this room. You are not alone in your journey. You are not alone in your uncertainty. You are held in strength, held in patience, held in mercy, held in love that does not fluctuate with your performance. And because you are held, you can rest. Let that truth settle like calm water over your mind. You are sustained. You are covered. You are guided. You are known. And you are deeply, deeply loved. Heavenly Father, tonight, we come to you without striving, without long explanations, without polished words. We simply come. You see the heart that is listening right now. You know the thoughts that have been heavy. You know the worries that tried to linger. You know the battles that feel exhausting. And you know the silent prayers that were never fully spoken. Father, thank you that we do not fight alone. Thank you that while we rest, you remain awake. Thank you that while we surrender, you remain strong. Tonight, we place everything into your hands. The unfinished conversations, the uncertain outcomes, the financial concerns, the relationship tensions, the fears about tomorrow. We lay them down gently before you, not because they are small, but because you are greater. Lord, calm every anxious thought, quiet every racing fear, soften every tight place in the heart. Let your peace settle over this room like a blanket, a peace that does not depend on perfect circumstances, a peace that does not disappear in the dark, a peace that remains steady through the night. Father, guard this mind as it sleeps. Protect this home. Surround this bed with your presence. Let no fear take root. Let no anxious thought grow loud. Replace tension with trust. Replace pressure with rest. We ask that you go before tomorrow. Prepare every step. Order every conversation. Open the right doors. Close the wrong ones. Align what needs to align. Shift what needs to shift. And give strength for whatever comes. Not overwhelming strength for the whole year. Just enough grace for the next day. Lord, if there are unseen battles happening, we trust you to fight them. If there are delays protecting us, help us accept them. If there are answers forming quietly, give us patience to wait. Teach us to rest without guilt. Teach us to surrender without fear. Teach us to trust without needing constant reassurance. Thank you for your covering. Thank you for your faithfulness. Thank you that your love does not weaken when ours does. As this body relaxes, as these eyes grow heavier, as this mind grows quieter, let your presence feel close, not distant, not abstract, but near. Let sleep come gently. Let dreams be peaceful. Let the night restore what the day drained. And if the mind tries to wake again in worry, remind the heart softly, God is fighting for you. You are safe. You are held. You are not alone. Father, we trust you with this night. We trust you with tomorrow. We trust you with our future. And now, we rest. In Jesus' name, amen.